Okay, y'all, let's talk about this. I mean, I know that this is old news and everybody's been talking about it. Everybody's debunked it. It's on everybody's mind. Trying to figure out, is Rickey Smiley legit or not when it comes to the death of his son, Brandon. Now, I have to put my own point of view in, and this is coming from somebody who actually used to listen to the Rickey Smiley call-in show. Found him to be hilarious back in the day. Back in the day, he used to do Comic View, old school, long time ago. So it used to be funny to me. I do know he is a mega sci-fi, but I didn't hold that against him because we all know that the majority of black comedians, black entertainers are in a sorority or a fraternity or associated with the Masons. If they're in the industry, let alone, they are got to be Mason affiliated. So I overlooked that, you know what I'm saying? But we know entertainment is entertainment and it's a bunch of bull. But Rickey Smiley, um, he has a history of trying to put out the truth as far as trying to be like a storyteller, old school parent, that type of thing. If you listen to his morning show, he'll talk a lot about his children that he helped raise, that actually his niece and nephews or cousins or some type of relative. But his bloodline, his blood son, Brandon Smiley, the one who just passed away, little little couple of days ago. Um, it brings question because everybody said, well, he was about to turn 33 days before, he passed away. And I do have the exact number later on the video, and I'll probably go over those numbers again. But however the case may be, yes, he was 32 as a date of death, and he was supposed to turn 33 on February 9th. Okay? And also, I don't know if people are aware that he had a sister, or Rickey Smiley's daughter, that was allegedly shot up a couple years ago. Now, I had to bring this up to mention this, and this is something that's been on my mind, on the radar, which kind of drew attention to when I found out news about his son. Um, I don't know if you are aware of how sacrifice works, but once a blood sacrifice is complete, it's complete. And if that person happens to survive that blood sacrifice, they can't go back on it. That means that they can't go back and redo what they try to do. So if his daughter was allegedly shot up, she survived it, they couldn't go back on it. Now, what I find interesting about that too is that her birth date just happens to be July the 4th of July, and excuse me, July 3rd. It's either the 4th of July or July 3rd, and I'm pardon me if I'm wrong. I will have the number correct. And when I go back and edit this, I'll probably go back and put the correct date on there. But however the case may be, her birthday being July 4th, 2020, and she turned 19. And the date of her death, if she had not survived that, her being attacked and shot up, she would have died the same day she was born. Because it was within that 24-hour period, even though they have it listed as her being shot on July 5th, 2020. So that brings red flags. There also was a nephew of Rickey Smiley's that overdosed a few months ago, and just coincidentally, which I've raised red flags, and one of the reasons why I decided to make this video is that Brandon is shown, and they from what I could, the information I got, it had been maybe less than an hour after he made this recording that he met his own demise. Excuse me, pardon me. And he was talking about the death of his cousin, the nickname Bird. And I'm sorry I don't know his real name, but he went by the name Bird. And I do believe that he has appeared on the Rickey Smiley show, so I think he has got a known appearance. But however the case may be, he was talking about his death, how his death was happened to be an overdose, and how people were saying that Rickey Smiley has something to do with that. And he was saying that, no, don't blame his father, this and that and the other. And then here, a couple hours later, that you heard the news that he had passed. Another thing that were being red flags, well, I wanted to make this video, is that when I had logged on last Sunday, I got a notification that Rickey Smiley had made a video, and I'm like, okay, kind of strange, because I'm like, normally he doesn't do, you know, his little commentary not till later on. It was an announcement that his son had passed. Now, I don't know how people normally grieve or how they deal with death, but I know for certain one thing's for sure. If I have somebody that close to me, a loved one, I'm damn sure I'm going to think about getting on any kind of social media, announcing any type of announcement about anybody's death until I know everything is settled or everybody's all right. Because you don't never know if something might change, or there's something going on, or I'm not even in the right state of mind. I don't know anybody who would be. So that lets me know right now that was something that was either pre-delivered, something rehearsed, something ready to go ahead and snap on. You know, and it just not surprised me, because here is, you got Rickey Smiley. He's got all these past shows, you know, like his own TV show, his own radio show. And like I said, he was a host of Comic View back in the day, long time ago. And he did all these things. He also is a mega sci-fi. So he's done all these things. And yet, you know, he might have some up and coming things, but they've got to collect their debt. Okay. Whether you believe this may be a blood sacrifice or not, there's something that's going on with the death of his son, because like I said, prior to this, his daughter got shot up. She survived being shot up because she was shot up several times. So she survived that. And like I stated before, once you survive a sacrifice, they can't go back. Whoever is, you know, your attacker, or whoever is the one that's deemed to take your life, or whatever type of contract they got, they can't go back on it. Okay, they can't go back to it. So, and then also the death of his nephew. And if you look at other celebrities that have children who they've lost all of a sudden, just strange. Another one that comes to mind is Bobby Brown, how he suddenly lost his daughter Christina, and I do believe right after that he lost his son. You know, so things like that, those are all blood sacrifices that I believe allegedly, and this is just my opinion, because I know and we know that they signed a contract and they've got to fulfill that contract, whether it be their own demise or a family member or their career. That's just the way it goes. Another thing that I wanted to bring to people's attention, they probably already seen this video too, this video clip of him basically admitting that what he did was a sacrifice. That is something that he's already signed a contract, and he has no choice but to comply to it. And I will definitely put that clip in this video so you could see exactly what I'm talking about. They have to either put the truth in plain sight, or they have to openly admit it. Either way, they do put it in front of our face.
I don't have an appetite, but I feel bad for her. Miss Nichols up in Memphis, I feel bad for her. All the parents that have ever been through this. I just never thought I would be a member of an organization where you have to bury your kid. So it's a terrible nightmare.
My good friend Ronald Birdsong, and it's been a lot of people been assuming shit or whatever on both ends, and I just want to set the record straight, because me and Bird was like this. You know, he was going through shit. He told me the truth. He kept 100 with me. You know, and there's a lot of shit that out there that's, you know, shouldn't be said, or it's too much drama. And I understand everybody grieving, you know. I'm grieving, you know, family grieving, you know. That death shit is real. You know, overdoses and shit is real, man. And there's a lot of people saying that Bird committed suicide. Bird ain't committing no fucking suicide. Bird was too into the Bible to commit suicide. Bird was a strong believer in Jesus Christ. He wouldn't have did no shit like that. Now, he probably did overdose. He did that, you know, cause, you know, Bird took pills, you know. And if you really, really knew Bird, I mean, you already knew this shit. And you know he wouldn't commit no suicide. Now, people saying that, you know, my dad was direct result of Ron committing suicide. I mean, not committing suicide, but overdosing. You know, I ain't gonna say that. No, that's not, Ron ain't, that ain't really have nothing to do with that for real. You can't really say, you know, he was the cause, my dad was the cause, Rickey Smiley was the cause of that. Because I don't think that's true. You know, my dad, he was good to Bird. You know, he was real good to Bird. He raised all of us, treated all of us the same, you know. Me and Bird grew up in the same house. You know, my dad didn't treat me no worse or no better than Ron. We all, you know, was treated the same. My dad never showed favoritism, ever. You know, but I will say this. Bird, this comes from Bird mouth. You know, because I talked to Bird before he died. He was feeling some type of way about the job. You know, Bird came to me and was like, hey, man, your dad said he's going to hook me up with a job. And now I call, he won't call back. And this, that, and the other. And he felt some type of way. You know, he felt down. He kind of felt bad about it. You know, and that played into, you know, some of the depression that he had. You know, so Bird, you know, he took pills to numb his pain. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think my dad was direct cause. I won't put that on my dad like that. Because my dad was, like I said, my dad was good to all of us. You know, we all had the same chance growing up. And some of us took advantage of it, some of us didn't. You know what I'm saying?
But this is just my input, my opinion. Everything that I said is alleged. Okay, let's put it out there. It is my own commentary, and you take it for what it is. If you like it, you don't. Hey, you can move on. I will see each and every one of y'all next video. I love y'all. Make sure you like and subscribe. Thank you.